What's up guys, so in today's video I'm gonna be showing you how to make a chair factory. Well, I'm not actually gonna show I'm gonna make it in front of you. No, actually I'm just gonna show you how it works, but like you're gonna know how to make it after you see this video. So the first thing you wanna do is place five trees. It's gonna just make it 5 by 5. Then delete the middle one and place a tree a sprinkler. You can see it sometimes spins and sometimes stops because the trees sometimes don't need water, so it just stops sometimes. And then make it also on the other side, and also make it a third time here. Then go over here. You see where the end of this tree is, right here. Place one tree farm harvester and another one right next to it, and then now they will harvest, but you're gonna see that they don't need power because they actually take power from this tiny thing. That's why it needs 1 mmf, so you gotta get a lot of power. So yeah, also here this is the tank that supplies water to the sprinklers so they can make water. I connected them to water pump 2 here. If you want, you can connect like 3 of them to fill it up fast. And after these cut the trees, they bring it to here, which is the tree farm output. Oh my, bro, let me out. Alright, it brings it to here. Then it takes out all oak logs. And if you want, you can only place 3 of them, but you need at least 3 of them. Here's why. I put 9. If you want, you can only use 3, but it will not be as efficient as the 9. So look, the wood goes in here. It goes into the sawmills. These sawmills cut it and make it into cut oak logs. Then they go into these second sawmills. You can see it goes straight from the output into the input, which makes it chunk planks. I think it was it's cut oak logs, then chunk planks, then finally this cut them and then make them planks. And for every single chair you need 20 planks and 20 nails, and then put them into the craft assembler, as I said in my previous video where I showed you how to make a crankshaft factory. It's right here. You also use the craft assembler there to craft them. So yeah, here you also have to use a craft assembler, then place it like that and connect them. Then put iron drills, connect them to electric furnace, then put them into an ingot molder, but don't put them into a press. Put them straight into a roller and you're gonna get nails. So yeah, but don't forget, this one makes nails, but this one makes steel rods. Why? Because this one makes it steel first. If it wasn't steel, it would just make nails, but because it becomes steel, so it makes steel rods, so you can make crankshafts. So yeah, let's just go back there. And yeah, so after you make nails, just connect it to the other input. Then the output will be chairs. As you can see, I put it into a truck depot, and chairs are actually really good for making money. Like, just look. Let me search up chair. Look, it's worth $10,029.5. But if you had some pollution, then it will be less. But if you had like negative pollution, then it will give you more than this. And it's also gives you times 30 RP, but I would highly recommend this for money and crankshafts for RP, because crankshafts give you 35 times RP and like $750 in money, but the chairs give you $1,000 in money and only 30% and only 30 times RP. So I would highly recommend you make a chair factory for money and a crankshaft factory for RP. So yeah, and also without the crankshaft factory and the tier 3 research stations, right now I would not have had 21,000 RP. So yeah, and yeah, this is for today's video. And look, it also gives you a lot of money, like 5,000 for only 5 chairs. So it gives you like 10,000 for a full truck depot. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya. And also don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.